Rocky Lonechild's assault by a Regina police officer occurred just 18 days after the memorial anniversary of Neil Stonechild's death.
Tonight, a family is calling for an independent review of an arrest by Regina police.
I guess we're just going to have to hotel it for a couple months, and if we can't find anything, then we're definitely going to have to relocate.
We take a look at the state of housing across the territories.
Who does have that opportunity to go to school in their home community, not have to move away, not have to relocate, and then to get your education at home. Like that's beautiful.
And we meet a Cree family in Fisher River who are taking their bachelor's of education classes together. Good evening. Welcome to APTN National News. I'm Melissa Ridgen. We're starting off in Saskatchewan, where friends and family of a man who was badly injured in an arrest by Regina police want an independent review of the incident. The arrest, which happened in December, left Rocky Lonechild with 3 broken ribs and a collapsed lung. Today, a press conference was held in Regina demanding accountability. APTN's Priscilla Wolf was at the press conference and has this.
Yes, we're here in Regina, Saskatchewan, where a media conference has just taken place. It's a co-media conference with the Saskatchewan Coalition Against Racism and Carmel Indian Agent. I'm here with Carmel Crowchild and the family of Rocky Lonechild. He was arrested violently on December 13, 2019. As a result, he has suffered a punctured lung. He's currently incarcerated. We hope to speak to him soon to find out how he's doing. But the press conference today, we want to find out a little bit why it was held. So Carmel, can you tell me why you held the press conference today?
The reason behind this press conference is because in recent media posts to the social media, there was a story that was put out by Chief Evan Bray, being quoted numerous times throughout that story of alleged home invasion, alleged methamphetamine, alleged firearms weapons. And he alleges that the 5 occupants of the blue SUV were all under this investigation.
So he was arrested for something, originally suspected of something, but that wasn't why he was incarcerated.
Yes, exactly. Rocky had some previous outstanding warrants for his arrest on another case altogether coming out of Carlisle, Saskatchewan. He was arrested to attend to that, and there are no new charges coming from a home invasion. The police have put a charge of methamphetamine solely on Rocky, not the 4 others. This is a direct character assassination toward all 5 of the individuals. I thought it was innocent until proven guilty. And so I see it as 5 innocent Indigenous people being wrongly identified in the public about their character and what they were doing, when in fact they were moving one of the ladies in the vehicle out of that house.
Okay, thank you. So we'll have a full story on this tomorrow, and back to you in Winnipeg.
We'll be following that story as it unfolds too. Thunder Bay police are investigating the city's 2nd homicide of 2020. 1 teenager is dead and 2 teens are in custody following a reported break-and-enter last week. The victim has been identified as 18-year-old Austin Robinson. Police said Robinson was found assaulted in his residence on January 9th when they responded to a break-and-enter on the city's south side, and that footprints in the snow led them to 2 accused. Robinson succumbed to his injuries over the weekend. Police said Monday they've located 2 other victims in the incident, but neither required medical attention. 19-year-old Cody Etcham and a 14-year-old youth were taken into custody on aggravated assault charges, which are expected to be upgraded. Detective Inspector John Fennell said the victims and accused knew each other but wouldn't give details about the investigation.
Unfortunately, with these type of investigations, we're very protective of the information because anything out in the community could taint some of the new evidence that we're still trying to obtain. 1 is too many, and to have such 2 in such a short time this year, it's not a good start.
Tensions were high in Listigouche Mi'kmaq First Nation over the weekend as police raided a cannabis dispensary in the community. Calvin Barnaby is the owner of one of two businesses raided Sunday. He live-streamed police entering his store. The Sûreté Québec said they assisted Listigouche police in arresting 4 individuals. Listigouche police did not respond to APTN's request for an interview. An emergency community meeting was held Monday morning, and Listigouche Council said that in a press release Monday that temporary permits will be authorized to the store operators until regulations to govern cannabis operations can be implemented. The store that was raided belongs to Alex Morrison. He was charged with possession and trafficking, and about $8,000 worth of product was seized. He is now working with Chief and Council to develop regulations for the industry.
It's really crazy because today they're pretty much giving us temporary permits, and yesterday they were sending the police. I don't know. It's it's a bizarro world. To be honest, it's crazy.
Federal Finance Minister Bill Morneau was in Toronto Monday to launch consultations for Budget 2020. Visiting Ryerson University, Morneau identified government priorities like climate change, the economy, and reconciliation, but he had nothing new to report on the child welfare legislation that came into effect on January 1st. An act respecting First Nations, Inuit, and Métis children, youth, and families still has no implementation plan or guaranteed long-term funding.
We, as you know, have been focused on how we deal with the challenges facing Indigenous peoples in Canada from day one. The issue around ensuring that we have appropriate funding for children, Indigenous children in particular, is important. You'll hear more of that in the near future, but I don't have anything to report on at this moment. We're considering this as a government.
After more than a decade of waiting, many Indian day school survivors can now apply for compensation. Some former students are eligible for at least $10,000 in compensation, and those who experienced physical and sexual abuse at the schools could receive as much as $200,000. The $15 billion class action lawsuit was launched in 2009 after day school survivors were left out of the Indian Residential School Settlement Agreement of 2006. The compensation process began Monday, and claims will be accepted until July 2022. The federal government has approved 700 of these schools, but there are some 680 not included on the government's list. In a written statement, Crown Indigenous Relations Minister Carolyn Bennett said this is an important step towards healing and justice for day school survivors and their families. This agreement demonstrates a comprehensive approach accomplished by working with survivors, which cannot be achieved through court processes. You can go to our website, aptnnews.ca. You'll find more information on the day school settlement by reading the full story by APTN reporter Kathleen Martins. It's time for us to take a short break, but there's still lots of news ahead, including an in-depth look at housing challenges in the territories. First, here's tomorrow's weather forecast for the east and central parts of the country. Starting off in Charlottetown, we got -4 in snow, -4 in sunshine for Fredericton. Cartwright, -15 in cloud. Nain, mostly sunny, -16. Gaspé, -9 in sunshine. Quebec City, -10 in sunny. -3 in snow for North Bay, -7 in snow for Ottawa. -7 in snow in Sioux Lookout, -25 in snow in Big Trout Lake. -19 in snow for Norway House, -27 in snow in Puckatawagan. Barons River and Princess Harbour, -9 in snow, -18 for Dauphin and Brandon in snow. -26 in Regina and sunny skies, -28 in sunshine in Saskatoon. -30 in sunny for Meadow Lake, -32 in sunshine in Stony Rapids. Welcome back. Northern Affairs Minister Dan Vandal will be in the Northwest Territories this week for his first visit since taking over the portfolio. Leaders are expected to push their housing concerns. While each region is unique, most northern communities have issues with overcrowding, wait lists, and high costs of living. Here's a look from the territories at the state of housing north of 60.
Whitehorse is the largest city in northern Canada, and people from all across Yukon move here. But finding affordable housing isn't easy.
I guess we're just going to have to hotel it for a couple months, and if we can't find anything, then we're definitely going to have to relocate.
Angela, her husband Ken, and their 2 children have just moved to Whitehorse from the community of Faro. They came to the city after their children started to get sick and found the cause was from black mold found in their walls. The family of 4 have been living in a hotel, paying $1,700 a month, which comes from their monthly disability checks. Since they've arrived in Whitehorse, they've been having a hard time finding a place.
I'll comment on, say, buy and sell, and within 5 minutes, there's like 10 other people looking for a place. And there's nothing available right now. I mean, since I've been here, I've only seen like maybe 2-3 places come available. And I mean, when you have these or this many people, you know, on the waiting list, it makes it tough, right, for everybody.
Angela believes landlords in Whitehorse see the high demand for accommodations and are using it to their advantage.
I think it was like just over a week ago, there was somebody on buy and sell, and he had wanted, I believe it was $2,200 a month for a 3-bedroom, and he put the price up to $2,400. I mean, there hasn't been anybody wanting to rent that place since he's done that, but I mean, a lot of landlords are, you know, taking advantage of the situation, and it really sucks because it's just making it harder on us. I mean, it's hard enough.
With no real space for a kitchen in the room, Angela says it's becoming harder to provide nutritious meals for her family.
I mean, we can't cook like most people do. We have to go out and buy like microwave dinners, and just for the night, like we have to go shopping daily. So, I mean, not only are we spending a lot of money on, you know, these dinners that add up, especially when you have a family of 4, we're not able to, you know, make our vegetables.
Angela and Ken are spending hundreds of dollars over their monthly budget just trying to secure a place to live. They're both optimistic, but they say they can only continue this for a few more months. This housing problem isn't only felt here in the Yukon, but it's spanning across the north. Now over to Charlotte Moore-Jacobs in Yellowknife.
Thanks, Chris. The Northwest Territories shares similar concerns over housing. APTN spoke with a family of 9 living in a 3-bedroom social housing unit. Here's that story.
This is the living room, bedroom. Lily sleeps down here with 2 or 3 of the kids.
They can barely afford groceries, so light bulbs go unreplaced for a while.
4 of us sleep in here.
It's a crowded home. 7 kids, ages 1 to 13.
When I have to go bathroom, another kid's in there, and they're waiting to go bathroom.
Sick more, they fight more, they don't have space. They need some space so they can go in a corner somewhere and play.
Dan Epp and Lillian Carpenter are afraid for their family's safety. 4 years ago, they endured a home invasion and sexual assault from a neighbor.
Angry, hurt, stressed. I'm afraid for my kids to be out. We play out with them and they're playing outside. I will be outside with them.
Housing told them they'd be moved once the perpetrator was released from jail. That was months ago. They're still here. The NWT Statistics Bureau survey for 2019 shows 42% of NWTers have major problems with affordability, basic amenities, and overcrowding. President of NWT Housing Corporation, Tom Williams, says there's 900 people on the wait list for social housing in the territory and simply not enough money to meet the demand.
We can't add to the inventory, unfortunately, unless we get a new influx of dollars. So one way around it is partnerships, and you know, we have to partner with all levels of government, federal government, Indigenous governments, and also the private sector has a role to play.
NWT Housing Minister Pauline China has recently taken on one of the largest and most critical portfolios. But she says she wants to work immediately to secure funding for visits to communities, to build partnerships and promote housing services.
Because I did come into the portfolio assuming that there was a huge disconnect, but then going forward I see that we do have a lot of programs and services that do exist, that do meet the needs of the people in the Northwest Territories, but there needs to be more enhancement in advertisement and reaching out to the residents in the smaller areas. And
the babies are going to sleep, okay?
For Carpenter and Epp, they just want more space and a better life for their kids. The family has connected with a caseworker from the Territorial Department of Justice in hopes of moving to a safer and larger space. Now we head east, across the tundra, to our Nunavut video journalist, Kent Driscoll.
Thanks, Charlotte. Now, here in Nunavut, the territory has been facing a housing crisis since it was founded in 1999. According to the Nunavut Housing Corporation, there would have to be 3,000 units built tomorrow just to meet current demand. That would come at a cost of $2 billion. And with Canada's youngest and fastest growing population, that challenge gets bigger every day. That's why this building is one of Iqaluit's busiest and most crowded, the Uhutak Men's Shelter. They see 50 clients a night this time of year. Goes as high as 70 sometimes. There are 34 beds. Couches and foam mattresses make up the rest.
The common area you can see behind me here where people sleep on the couches, on the floor, and recently we've just changed most of the kitchen tables to fold out and bought some cots so that we can fit more people in. Because at one point in the summer we had 79.
It's usually deserted here in the daytime. They're mandated to close from 9 to 5 daily. Today's an exception. When the wind chill drops below -30, the men can stay indoors. For Nunavut, Iqaluit is the big city. It's a draw. 57% of clients came here from another community.
Well, people come out of the justice system a lot of times. They're actually mandated to leave their community, and their bail papers are often have a condition that they have to stay at the shelter. Sometimes when they go through the court system, then they're banished from their communities. They're not allowed to go back, so then they're here. Some people come for medical, some people come, accompanying somebody for medical.
It isn't just people in the justice system who can't find housing and end up here. Many of the shelter's clients have jobs. They just can't find housing. Iqaluit is a government town. With government jobs in Nunavut, government housing is often attached.
I believe it was the last CMHC report, Northern Housing Report, said that 90% of the private rental housing was leased to the GN, the feds, corporations, the birthright organizations. So only 10% of private rental is available for individuals, if they could afford it.
Eric Tikovic has been staying here at the shelter since he moved back home to Iqaluit from nearby Kimmirut 7 years ago. After 7 years in a shelter, you'd think Tikovic would be bitter. Far from it.
It's really cold out there, and there's incredibly people sleep out in Kamutiks or inside a boat or inside a shack. It's incredible. Like some people, they survive in this kind of weather, and it's hard for your head, like for your mind, and it hurts from the heart for some people for sure, but try and work harder about it, and we'll get together on that someday maybe.
Not enough housing makes every problem worse, from crime to health. To fix housing problems across the 3 territories would take a massive federal effort, and that hasn't happened yet. But like Eric Tikovic said, we'll get together on it someday. Maybe. For Chris McIntyre on Whitehorse and Charlotte Morit-Jacobs in Yellowknife, I'm Kent Driscoll, APTN National News, Iqaluit.
A Cree father, mother, and daughter are in school together so they can one day teach in their community. We'll tell you all about that when we come back from this commercial break. But first, here's the rest of tomorrow's weather for the west and the north. In northern Alberta, we got -32 and snow in Fort Chip, -27 and sunshine for Grand Prairie. -31 and sunshine for Red Deer, -26 and snow for Lethbridge and Medicine Hat. -17 in clear skies for Kamloops, -25 and clear in Quesnel. Dease Lake, clear and -35, or -33, -30 and snow in Fort Nelson. Snow and -40 for Dawson City, Rock Rivers, -30 and snowing. Clear skies and -31 for Norman Wells, -35 and clear in Yellowknife. Tuck is -18, clear skies. Sax Harbor, -22 and clear. Polytech, -24 and snow. Chesterfield and Whale Cove, -34 and sunshine. Repulse Bay, -28 and clear. Clyde River, -22 and snow. Tallyoak, -27 and snow. And Joe Haven, -27 and clear. Welcome back. A pilot program in one Manitoba community is giving members the chance to pursue a post-secondary education at home. A young Cree woman is taking the opportunity to stay near family in more ways than one. Brittany Hobson introduces us to this family navigating the classroom together.
Because he couldn't put his ideas down the way they wanted, in that scholarly way.
Shekinah Sinclair spends her evenings in this classroom surrounded by dozens of community members. The 23-year-old is pursuing a degree in education, but instead of moving to the city, she gets to go to school in her home community of Fisher River Cree Nation. For Shekinah, the program is special in more ways than one. That's because her parents are also in the class.
I don't think I could mentally handle that, being away from my family. I've always been with my family. So having this chance to take it with my parents is just, it's awesome.
3 years ago, the Sinclairs applied to be part of a pilot program run through University College of the North. Students complete their Bachelor of Arts, then move on to a Bachelor in Education, all within 5 years. It was Cynthia Sinclair who encouraged Shekinah to apply.
She played a key role in me going to school. If it wasn't for her, I don't even want to imagine where I would be.
The family works full-time at the community's elementary school as educational assistants. Cynthia always dreamed of teaching, but starting a family with her high school sweetheart took precedence.
From when I was younger, I wanted to become a teacher, and it wasn't really there for me to just pack up and leave with my family to pursue our education. As soon as this program was offered to us on reserve, we took it and we didn't want to wait.
Fisher River is located approximately 200 kilometers from Winnipeg, where the closest university is. While there is a community college that operates out of Fisher River, this is the first time members don't have to leave to take university courses. Dwayne Sinclair says this has opened many doors.
I mean, who does have that opportunity to go to school in their home community, not have to move away, not have to relocate, and then to get your education at home. Like that's beautiful.
It wasn't easy at first.
Sometimes it's like a cat and dog thing, and
The family had to learn to set boundaries. One of those being no group projects.
In the beginning, we did group work together, and then we would didn't consider each other like classmates. We always treat her like, oh, you're our daughter, you need to listen to us. Like, we didn't really consider her opinions.
As time went on, both Cynthia and Dwayne had to let go. However, they still lend a helping hand every now and then, like when they play the role of Grandma and Grandpa to Shekinah's 3 children. Juggling work and school and parenthood can be a challenge, but for the family, it's worth it in the end.
If we can do it, then there's other people out there that are probably watching this, that they can do it as well. That it's within their grasp. We had to make the decision to get up and to do it, to get out there and to grab what was in front of us.
Brittany Hobson, APTN National News, Fisher River Cree Nation.
It's a great story to end the night on. That's all the news I have for you tonight. If you missed anything, check out our website, aptnnews.ca. I'm Melissa Ridgen, and I'll see you back here tomorrow. Have a great night.